Dolphins Today is sponsored by Mint Mobile, the cell phone provider owned by famous actor Ryan Reynolds. They have cell phone plans starting as low as $15 per month. We'll tell you more about them later on in today's show. With that, we get into this breaking news. The Miami Dolphins have cut 3 players. They have placed 2 other players on injured reserve to get the roster down to 80 before today's deadline. We knew moves were going to happen today. Chris Grier, Dolphins GM, making those moves early this morning. And this is why you subscribe, because when breaking Dolphins news goes down, we got y'all covered. We're going to get you a video ASAP. Go down, hit that big red subscribe button, because it is the best way to stay in the loop with Dolphins news and Dolphins rumors. Let's talk about the players on IR first, because John Lovett has been placed on injured reserve, a fullback, and he probably wasn't going to make the team anyway. He was competing with Alec Ingold for that starting fullback job, which Ingold was obviously expected to win. But this is a little bit surprising. Mackensie Alexander has been placed on IR. This, of course, comes about a week after the Dolphins signed him. However, he suffered a groin injury in Saturday's game. We did not know the severity of that injury, but he is now out for the season. Of course, if you're placed on IR before the season, that rules you out for the 2022 season. Barry Jackson said this: so week after signing, Dolphins lose Mackensie Alexander for the season. He goes to IR. Only way he can play for the Dolphins is if he reaches an injury settlement and is re-signed, and that gets a little bit complicated because he'd have to miss the time of that injury settlement plus 3 weeks. It's very, very rare. So in all likelihood, he is out for the 2022 season, at least with the Dolphins he is. So this is a pretty big blow, because Mackensie Alexander was signed to replace Trill Williams. Trill tore his ACL in the Dolphins preseason opener. So you bring in Mackensie Alexander, who this deep into the preseason was a pretty good pickup for this team, a pretty good replacement for Trill Williams, who is competing for the 4th, maybe 5th cornerback spot on this team. But now both of these guys are out for the year, and the Dolphins secondary is getting thin. Not good, not ideal for the Dolphins 2 preseason games in. What is your one-word reaction to the Mackensie Alexander news? Go down in the comments section, chime in. Curious to hear what you think, because this is a pretty big blow to the Miami Dolphins. Taking a look at the updated cornerback depth chart. Trill Williams out for the year. Mackensie Alexander out for the year. Byron Jones still not healthy. Mike McDaniel said earlier that he's working toward playing week 1. That's the goal. That's the expectation. But he was placed on the PUP list prior to camp. We have not seen him, which is problematic. Nick Needham, though, the good news coming out of this press conference earlier, Nick Needham's going to be fine. He got a little bit banged up on Saturday. He's fine. He's day-to-day. He's ready to go. Xavier Howard, he better not play in the final preseason game. You got to put that guy in bubble wrap before week 1 against New England. Noah Benogany, he's probably going to make this football team. And I said the same thing after Trill, that, man, Noah was in trouble. He was in danger of missing the team. Same thing after Mackensie Alexander. I thought he was in serious jeopardy of missing the team, but because Trill and Mack are out for the year, he's probably going to make this football team. But it also means that a guy like Kader Kohou has a pretty good shot to make this team. Kohou looked very, very good in his Dolphins debut on Saturday against the Raiders. He's got a real shot to make this football team. Taking a look at the available corners. So these are the guys that are still out there and available. Now, a lot of these guys you're seeing on your screen are starting caliber corners. They might not be interested in coming in and being a backup. Now, we did hear about Joe Haden earlier, Drew Rosenhaus's agent, obviously very well connected with Miami. He said that Haden might be a fit if Byron Jones is not ready by week 1. That's something to monitor. He'd be a very, very good pickup this late into NFL free agency, but those are certainly some of the top guys available. Going back to Kohou, though, I think he has a really legit chance to make this football team now. 3 tackles, a pass breakup on Saturday. Didn't get beat the entire game. Looked very, very good in one-on-one matchups. I'm a big fan of Kohou, and you can make the argument that maybe instead of going out and signing a guy, just let Kohou make this football team. He's a really, really solid player, a UDFA out of Texas A&M Commerce. Now, should Miami sign a cornerback? Type S for sign or type P for pass. Down in the comment section, go down. chime in. Before we get into the players that were cut, I want to tell you about our friends over at Mint Mobile because they have cell phone plans starting as low as $15 per month. We're all looking to save money right now with inflation. Mint Mobile is a great way to do that. And on top of the $15 per month, you're going to have the strongest connection. Your service is going to switch seamlessly between 5G and 4G LTE, whatever network is the strongest. You're going to have unlimited data. Your mom might even ask you to stop calling so much because you're going to want to take advantage of that unlimited data from Mint Mobile. The link to get this great deal, again, cell phone plans starting as low as $15 per month. That's the link. mintmobile.com/chatsports. That link is going to be in the comments and the description of this video. Let's get into the players cut. Sheldrick Redwine, a corner. He has been cut. DeAndre Johnson, linebacker, cut. And then, my guy Sterling Hofrichter was very disappointed to see that news. He has been let go, the 2020 7th-round pick out of Syracuse. They brought him in a couple weeks ago to compete with Thomas Morstead for the job. Let's start with Sheldrick Redwine. Played at the U. He's among Tuesday's cuts. He played in 4 games last season with the Miami Dolphins after a brief stint with the New York Jets. So not a surprise that he didn't make this football team. However, it is a very, very big surprise that he was part of the 80-man roster cuts. I thought he would get in to the final round of cuts here, so I'm very surprised to see him released today. Daniel Oifusty of the Miami Herald said this: I think this bodes well for Verone McKinley's chances of making the 53-man roster. He's played a ton in 2 preseason games. Safeties coach Steve Gregory praised the acumen in the back of the secondary. So that is what we're looking at here now. I think Verone McKinley III is going to make this football team. I really do. He was in my initial roster projection video, as well as the last roster projection video I did last week. I really like Verone McKinley. He had no business being a UDFA, one of the best undrafted free agents in all of the NFL, played last season at Oregon. Actually, was Javon Holland's teammate at Oregon. Let's talk about DeAndre Johnson because he was a linebacker that was amongst Tuesday's cuts, went to Southridge High School and played at the U. So the Miami Dolphins letting go of 2 Miami Hurricane products in Redwine and Johnson. Johnson, obviously, not a surprise cut. He was a long shot to make this football team. Sterling Hofrichter also among Tuesday's cuts. He was competing with veteran Thomas Morstead. And I thought Sterling had a pretty good chance to make this team because of the upside and also because of Morstead's undisclosed injury. We did not see Morstead punt in the first preseason game. We did see him punt against the Raiders, and when I saw Morstead kind of back fully healthy, I knew this might happen with Hofrichter getting released. Certainly wish the best for Sterling. What's the most surprising move that the Dolphins made today? Go down in the comments section, chime in. For me, it's probably either Redwine or Mackensie Alexander. I did not think the Alexander injury was going to be that significant. Really big blow for this Dolphins team. Going to be interesting to see if they go out and sign a corner. Chris Greer wasted no time after the Trill Williams injury. That's something to keep in mind. Here's who survived today's roster cuts. I thought all 5 of these guys were in danger. Elijah Campbell, Quincy Wilson, Darius Hodge, Larnell Coleman, Jared Doak. So the Dolphins have yet to move on from a running back. They still have 6 running backs on this roster. Zaquandre White had a pretty good showing with that touchdown reception on Saturday. Dokes hasn't really done anything in the preseason. I know a lot of y'all are going to be a little bit upset that Larnell Coleman did not get cut today. But next week, the roster goes down to 53. It's going to be very, very fascinating to see what goes down. They got to move on from 27 players in the next week. We'll keep you posted here on Dolphins Today if the Fins make any moves.